So let be with us. It was in 2014. I happened to visit an university in Canada. Actually, I accompanied my daughter. She studied there in Dalhousie University. There, I got an opportunity to attend one of their exhibitions conducted by entomology department. I was very curious to know about the insects. So it's exhibition is all about insects. So there, one display board attracted my attention. If bee disappears from Earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live. See, I am a plant enthusiast. I have a small kitchen garden in my balcony. At that time, I was living in the middle of Doha. It is a city. So I was working in a school that was also in the middle of the city. I took initiative to set up a vertical garden in that school. So this created a lot of curiosity in me. We all know that bees help us in pollination, right? So actually, bees are not out there for pollinating intentionally, right? They're out there because they need to eat. They are flower feeders. They get all the proteins from the pollen and all the carbohydrates from the nectar. So when a bee move from one flower to other, they end up in this valuable service. So what is the reason behind this? Then I had a discussion with all the experts there. So they said bees are dying at an alarming rate. They identified this problem in 2010 in California. Why California? See, as you all know, America is the biggest almond producer in the world. 80% of the almond is coming from California. So you can imagine hectares and hectares of almond farms are there in California. So the almond farms looks like this. Almond trees buds burst into beautiful pink and white blooms in February and March. So during that period, the farm owners, they hire beehives in their farm. See, almond need bee to pollinate. So this is a huge area. So they don't have their own beehives. They hire from the beekeepers. So it will look like this after putting the, so during that period, the farm will look like this. So the beekeeper will, it is a win-win situation for the farmers. The beekeeper will get the honey, and the almond farm owner will get that pollination done, right? So I met one beekeeper, so who runs his hives on a national circuit, that is starting with January, February in California, ending with Brazilian pepper in Florida in winter. So this is how it is done. So why these bees are dying at an alarming rate? So this government helped the farmers. So this becomes an environmental issue. So they gave awareness to many people, and they started researching at university level. And one lady, she was the leading light of this environmental issue, that is Marla Spivak. She is a distinguished Magnet University professor in University of Minnesota. So I came to know about this lady and her articles, her TED Talk, her whatever, YouTube channel. She has got her own site, and I started reading about it. So it was very interesting. So whatever I read, whenever I get a new information, I feel like I want to do something about it. I want to be with that group. I started my research in 2014, but all the research was, or all the knowledge I gathered was all theoretical knowledge. I didn't have a practical knowledge about how to do this beekeeping. I know everything in theory. So because I told you I was in Qatar at that time. Okay, so the reasons are they say 4 Ps. So they identified this situation, that is, bees are dying at an alarming rate. They named it colony collapse disorder. The reason for this colony collapse disorder is parasite. Parasite means, see, when the beekeepers, they have huge, what, not huge hives, they have many different hives and in a huge volume. So they carry this beehive from one place to another. While transporting, they don't give proper attention to this beehive. The bees are kept in a small cage, no? So they don't clean properly. They don't get proper food. So this parasites and pathogens like worms, bacteria, fungus, all these things will damage the beehive. And poor nutrition. They may not even get water during this transportation. So these are the reasons they identified. And pesticide exposure. So pesticide means, when, see, in February, March, they will be in almond farm. In September, October, they will keep this beehive in a different type of farm. So the farmers, for the best result, they may use different types of strong pesticides, right? So these when this bee come next to the pesticide, it will get disoriented and it will die, or it may have forgot the way back to his hive. So hives will be abandoned. As you all know, in a beehive, in a typical, and the last one, before I move on to the next slide, the last one is from my experience. So these are the 4 Ps: parasites, pathogens, poor nutrition, pesticide exposure, lack of genetic diversity and habitat. If habitat is damaged, then nothing will grow, right? So lack of genetic diversity means, see, for the whether it is agriculture or anything, we need profit, right? For the modern agriculture, for the profit, modern agriculture practice, they go for this monoculture practice. That means a huge area, hectares and hectares of place they clear, and they grow only, say, one single crop. That is called monoculture practice. There is no, you will not see any other plants around that particular crop. So that is how this habitat is not maintaining. This is also a reason for this bees dying at an alarming rate. Okay. So bees are in trouble. So there are many conditions. So trading in tiny boxes, spreading diseases, and the virus, bacteria, fungus, worms. So they identified all these reasons. Now we will take a look at a typical beehive. There are 3 types of bees that you will see in a beehive: a queen, drone, and a worker bee. There will be one queen in a beehive. So she will be dominating the entire beehive. And drone is a male bee. So his job is only to mate with the queen, okay? And queen's job is only to lay egg. And worker bee is the bee. There will be many worker bees in a beehive. This worker bee does all the jobs in the beehive. So they will not sit idle for a single second. So they will be. So when you go next to a beehive, you will see that buzzing sound, right? They communicate each other to with a dance, a body language, and they always keep moving. That is why you are hearing that buzzing sound. If some danger, they feel some threat outside the beehive, you will see the buzzing sound will increase, right? So they communicate each other through this waggle dance. So their main job is maintain cleanliness. So cleanliness is very important. So otherwise, what will happen? All the parasites, everything will come. So so how they divide the job, that is also more interesting. There are as I told you, in a beehive there are different types of, different ages. there will be many worker bees of different age. They divide the work themselves. So senior bees will go out and collect honey. So juniors are not allowed to go out. They will get trained from the senior worker bees. So first job is maintain the cleanliness, then care for larva. So they nurse the larva and all. They have to give proper care and build cells. So they build. See, when you look at a hive, you will see small holes, right? So it is a beautiful engineering work. Some are builders and some store honey. They need a separate space for storing the honey and pollination. They go out and do this pollination, and they guard the nest and feed the drone. The drone is a bee who does nothing, and they have to feed that bee as well. So these are the job of a worker bee. Now, I started this research in 2014, and in 2017, United Nation, okay, they kept observed this May 20 as World Bee Day, which marked the birth anniversary of Anton Jensa, a pioneer of beekeeping. So May 20, when it was in 2017. It is a continuous effort of a small country, European countries, Slovenia. So this UN accepted the proposal, and we are celebrating World Bee Day on May 20th. So this is the 5th year now, I think. Now, in 2020, year 2020 is unforgettable year for all of us, right? It gave us many learning experience. Okay, COVID also. So that time we relocated to our hometown. I got an opportunity to attend a hands-on apiculture training from an expert in our town. Okay, and I learned how to manage the hive and how to feed them with sugar syrup in during rainy season. See, after coming to Kerala, before I was there in Gulf for 15 years. In those days, we had only 2 rainy seasons. So after coming here, every other week, we get what? Heavy rain, right? So we have to feed them with sugar syrup in rainy season. I learned the art of splitting the beehive. See, when the beehive grow bigger and bigger, you have to split the beehive. So I learned that also. But friends, I never experienced a sting. You know why? Our moves should be careful without making them feel uncomfortable and threatened. Then they will not do anything. But if I want to clean a beehive, so as a precaution, I used to keep a smoker with me. So I used to apply smoke around the hive. So the bees will get what? They get drowsy. They will not trouble you. Then I do all the necessary, all the cleaning work, and if I want to replace something, I do everything. I keep water for them to drink. I keep sugar syrup, and so I can do everything peacefully. So still now, I didn't get any sting from any of my bees. Okay, so it was I could fulfill my long cherished desire to hear the buzzing sound of bees around me. I could see the waggle dance, and I could look after them, nurture them, and care them. It was a dream come true experience for me. And one more thing, you are located, all of you are located in Kottayam, right? So it is a place famous for rubber estate. Why people are keeping beehives in rubber estate? It was, I started my research with almond fields in California. But after coming to Kerala, I could see people keeping their beehives in rubber estate. You know why? During the month of December, January, and February, right? That time you will see what? Fresh leaves on rubber trees. That is the time you get maximum honey from rubber tree. That is why honey farmers, they keep their hive in a rubber plantation. So they get, I don't remember the exact measurement. So I know I got trained under a expert, right? He has got plenty of this hives. He used to keep his hives in all around, wherever possible. He used to go and keep his hives in all the rubber plantation. One second. Okay. Now, this is my experience. In July 2021, there were many trolls around about this tomato price, right? Tomatoes were, it is a essential thing all in our Kerala kitchen, especially. So that time, I thought, why not? I also started growing tomatoes. Okay. So I started reading about it and I watched many videos. Then I came to know about this interesting thing. The tomatoes have male and female flowers. So if proper pollination is not done, then you will not get tomatoes from all the flowers. So that time, our Krishi Vignan Kendra, one of the experts, told me to do this artificial pollination. I took a earbud and I did this pollination by myself. So imagine if you are growing a tomato in a large field, is it possible to go and eat tomato and do this pollination? No. So we need bees. Here, hand pollination is not necessary. However, using hand pollinator can beneficial when tomatoes have trouble producing enough fruit, right? So, but you can do this hand pollination or in low humidity and warm temperature. So here, Kerala humidity is so high. So this is not advisable in Kerala weather condition. So we need bees, right? Now, from a commercial angle, almond farm or rubber plantation, beekeepers should generate sufficient income, right? So what are the other products other than honey you get from bees? Royal jelly. That is the most expensive thing you get from honey bee. What is royal jelly? It is a secretion from worker bee that goes as a nutrient for this for larva or babies. So this royal jelly, they will give only to the selected bees, healthy bees, because they will be the next queen. So it is like this. During the process of creating a new queen, they give this royal jelly to those particular honeybees. So it is very expensive product. It is used in many health product and also ingredient in skin cream and all. You search for it, you will be surprised by seeing the price of the royal jelly. And bee wax. Bee wax is it's similar to our wax we use for this candle and all, but that is from petroleum jelly. This is a natural product. And another thing is bee venom. That is also very expensive for treatment of many diseases. They use this bee venom. And if you see, I have a request. If you see a beehive in a balcony or garden, normally what people used to do is they'll put that beehive in fire. Please don't do that. And there is a person, I don't know whether you have heard about him, Amit Godse. He was a software engineer, now living in Pune. He has got a website and office. Its name is Bee Basket. So his main duty is beehive relocation. If you inform that there is a beehive, I want to relocate, I don't want to kill those bees, please help me to relocate. They will arrange somebody at your place. They will help you to relocate the bees. They have to you have to keep them in wild, right? Now, so my dear friends, with this 15 minutes time, I could only share few things about this sweet honeybee. So your home, your backyard, and can be the change, right? Your farms and plantation can be the change, and public gardens can be the change. So please let the bee with us. Thank you. Over to Jacob.
Thank you. It was awesome. If anybody wants to ask any question, if you have any doubts, you can ask Mallika now. I'm sure nobody will have because.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, you have.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Continue.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful piece of information that you shared. Because I had thought that I knew everything about bees because the bees are something very common to us. But I am hearing for the first time about bee venom, then this royal jelly. I have heard about bee wax and of course the honey, but those other two materials were quite new for me. And about the almond farms and how the bees are transported. Okay, that's what I heard. The doubt or something that I would like to share with you is that in those places they are taking bees around the world, and throughout the time they will be getting enough food. But in places like Kerala, when we have only the major source of nectar for them is rubber plantation, as you said. So, but the rubber plantation flower only during this January, February season. So, as you said, this genetic diversity is not here in Kerala, for the rest of this time, I think bees will be suffering a lot because we don't have much of other flowers or other orchards like which are giving flowers in different times of the season. So that will be a great concern for the beehives in Kerala.
Yeah. So bee farmers, what they do is they give sugar syrup during that. So weekly, twice, I used to give. I keep a plate on top of the tray, and I give twice a week, sugar syrup for them. They finish it quickly, and I have a lot of plants in all over my farm. I have a farm, name is Samanvaya Farms. We have different types of fruits, vegetables, and aquaculture plant. So I mean, you will not see in a vacant place. Everywhere there are flowers because I don't want bees to starve. Reason.
Thank you so much. It's such a great initiative. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just